Agreed. Greetings and salutations.
The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
It's us.
Hi, welcome back. It's me, Tessa.
And me, Nicole. And unfortunately, our very own in-house Flibberty Gibbet Kim is not here with us tonight.
No, I
Much
know.
to
we
her
even
disappointment.
I know. That's a bummer.
But yeah, we had to record remotely because Tessa has real life, and
well, we all have real life.
Life got in the way.
Life found a way. No, it was my kid's last day of school.
Whoop, whoop.
Kid's last day of elementary school. So
Big day.
had to do all the things. So
Family
here
party
we are.
time. So yeah, before we get into Joe versus the volcano,
yes,
we have to welcome a new patron.
Woo-hoo.
On the top dollar finest tier. Welcome,
Hey
Rod
now.
K, to the club.
Welcome.
the club.
Yay. We're in the
And
club.
we'll send you a package out soon here. I just have to remember to put the stuff in an envelope and send it your way.
Do the things.
So we appreciate
Physically
you.
do
And if
them.
anyone else wants to join our Patreon, patreon.com/Doom Generation, we have 3 tiers, $2, $4, and $10. And you get different things at different levels, and you should go check it out.
You should. It'll be fun. You'll be in the club.
That's right. So let's get into the cast. It's not super long.
No, not really. We have Tom Hanks
As Joe Banks.
That was a stretch.
Right?
That was a stretch.
And when you're only going to cast one woman in 3 different main roles, then you're not going to have a long cast list. So we have Meg Ryan
that's also true.
as DeDe, Angelica, and Patricia.
Graynamore.
Graynamore. Whose father is Lloyd Bridges. Well, only 2 of them's father is Lloyd Bridges Graynamore.
Right,
I don't know
right.
why the third one is a triplet.
I don't
Never
think
comes
she's
up.
a triplet.
She
She's
just is the
also
same face.
Meg Ryan. They had a limited budget for hiring cast members.
Or maybe what they
perhaps.
don't tell you is Joe Banks has face blindness, and every woman looks like that to him.
Oh, maybe that would be weird.
Meg
or
Ryan's
he's just
face
been
is the only one he knows.
surprised he was in a coma the entire time.
Yep, and that's just his
or
wife.
something. I don't know. It was weird. We have Robert Stack as Dr. Ellison.
Amanda Plummer as Dagmar, who's in it for like 20 seconds.
Right. I know.
She's barely
That
in
was
it.
weird,
I thought
too.
that they would come back, but no, they did not.
Nope, did not. Abe Vigoda again as Toby, chief of the Waponis.
Ossie Davis as Marshall, the limo driver.
And appearances by Carol Kane as the hairdresser and Nathan Lane as the storyteller.
They called
on the
him
island.
Wapani Advance Man in the
I
IMDb
have it-
credit.
I saw it as Baw.
Oh,
B-A-W.
Okay.
Baw.
and
so I
of
don't know
course
if that was
Dan
their name.
Hedeya making probably his
Oh.
4th or 5th appearance on Doom
I know,
Generation as Mr. Waturi.
How could I forget to mention? How could I skip?
It must be time
over-
for new quarter business because
It
Dan
must be.
Hedeya is here. We should. Oh my God, we should check.
you
Are
know
we
what?
quarterly talking about Dan Hedeya?
Oh my God. To be doing that accidentally would
That would be
be like
hilarious.
insane. We're like a couple of Rain Mans if that's true.
Right.
Like,
And when
there's
does
no way.
when does this episode come out? Is this our 4-year anniversary? Or is that next week?
I think let me take a little look here. Oh, that's that calendar.
Oh.
That's that calendar like it's different
The
than any
special
other calendar. I don't want to have to get up and change the thing. This one will be
Yeah, so
For
happy
the-
4-year anniversary to us.
Yes. Yay. This also comes out on Flag Day. Best Flag Day ever.
Right. And in last year we picked a theme for because it was the leather anniversary, and before that I can't remember what we did specifically, but this year we just kind of dropped the ball, and we had already just done 200 episodes special,
Right.
so it was like, whatever.
Well, we may or may not have something
Yeah.
for the actual
Keep
day.
your eye on our socials, because on the actual day by the time this comes out will be the day after.
Oh yeah,
won't
it'll be
it?
the day after.
Well,
oh,
shit.
yeah.
Should have mentioned that.
Well, we
before,
hope
too.
you liked
Hopefully
that.
you enjoyed
if we
our
did it.
4th anniversary hangout. if it happened and if you were there.
Right? Were
And if you
there?
weren't,
And
then
more
guess what? It
importantly-
probably didn't happen because
I know.
we're
If
bad.
you weren't there,
we're bad about that stuff.
that's also true, but I don't know. I had to actually go back and look through the text thread because when I got up this morning, I was like, I know we discussed something that we all said we were going to forget what we were discussing. I'm all, what was that? Because I couldn't remember what it was.
Wow. Yeah, I barely
True to
remembered
form.
that we had that conversation this morning as well, but I did
True
because the
to
Discord.
form.
Because the Discord
Yes.
is there.
We
And if you want
were-
to join our Discord, join our Patreon.
Yeah. I'm not there, but she is.
So let's get into this weird ass rom com from 1990. Once upon a time, there was a
Yeah.
guy named Joe who had a very lousy job. Totally unnecessary little text on the screen because
I know.
it's about to show you exactly that. And it
Right,
never
like,
has
there's no
any other
question.
text narration on the screen, does it? I
At-
didn't
at
mark
the
any
end.
down at the end.
At the end, there was, but that was it.
But yeah, that
There's
was a
no
silly-
animated opening that
No.
would necessitate that kind of opening credit thing or card or whatever.
So we start at this depressing ass industrial building that has a
And that
face.
hair and suit. Yeah, like
The
and
building has,
why
like, a
is
weird face?
everybody dressed like a 40s gangster?
It never says what year it is, and that car he drives is
No.
old, so maybe it's
or
supposed
where
to be.
it is.
Yeah, it doesn't
I
say
don't
when
understand.
or where.
I don't understand not any of this movie.
So
I
yeah,
don't understand it.
it's a sad building with a weird, scary face made of parts on the outside, and they make
Yes.
surgical tools.
Right.
Not
They're
only, but
Panatech.
including fucking
The home of the rectal
the home of the
probe.
rectal probe sign on the door, and then
50
petroleum
years
jelly
of petroleum
buckets
jelly
being filled. And I'm like, oh my God, does he work for aliens? What do you mean rectal probes?
Right? Why?
Right, but then
Why?
there are other parts as well that you see as you go
I know.
through. But that's the main signage. Is
And where is this? This has to be like a place, this long, crooked road to
Yeah.
work that they all have to like walk once you get in the gates
Mm-hmm.
and trample the daisy, the one singular daisy that is
Yes.
striving to rise
and
out
the
of this gray,
logo of
dirty
the company matches that crooked sidewalk, and later will
Right.
match something else. So it'll
concrete. To
all
a couple
tie in
things
together
later
yeah.
on. Yeah.
So he works in the advertising department here, but that
Mm-hmm.
just means he sends out mail order catalogs. Apparently,
And it's so gross. Everyone's
yeah.
so pale.
And
And
I-
his hair.
And as soon as I heard Dan Hedeya going, "I'm not arguing that with you," I was
Yes.
like, okay. Like that was so familiar. I remember because he says it so many times. I am not arguing.
Oh,
that
he
with
keeps
you. I'm
repeating
not arguing
himself.
that
I'm
with
not
you."
arguing that with you. But what about this? No, this, that. Like,
And Meg Ryan works there too, and she's got like
Mm-hmm.
the ever-present cold or something. I don't know. She's all like
Right.
tissues and sniffles.
'cause she
and-
works in this like disgusting enclosed underground lightless
Yeah.
office.
And we see as Joe, like one thing after another. So first outside, he had the sole was coming off his shoe, and he stepped in a puddle.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes in, the hat rack's broken. He keeps falling the things down when he's trying to put his
Right.
hat. And then the powdered creamer is solid, and the light over the coffee is bzz, bzz, bzzing.
Yeah, like everything is just sad.
And
sad.
Mr. What is it? I want to say Mr. Waponi now because it's the fucking
No, it's
Waponi. It's Mr.
Waturi.
Waturi. Mr. Waturi
I know.
is juggling fucking fake testicles in his hand. Did you notice that's what that was?
Yes. Oh no, I didn't.
It said so he
I
put
did
him back on.
not.
At first, I thought it was just like a trophy because he had it and then he like
Right.
set it on the trophy. But if you looked at what the trophy said, hold on, I wrote it down. Where did it say? Artificial testicles prototype.
oh,
So he was.
I
just,
did not notice that.
He was using
I
them as a
noticed the
stress
fist
ball.
later.
Yes. Yes.
I would too if I had like an
be
artificial
fondling
ball
the
bag.
balls
I
at
probably
your
would,
desk.
like instead of those little metal ones.
Yeah.
It'd be relaxing.
Probably.
Like a fidget spinner.
I wonder what the if they're supposed to be artificial balls. I guess I was gonna say I wonder what the like are they squishy? Are they wet? But I guess they're like
Right.
balls. So
It probably feels like ball skin, I would imagine.
it doesn't make that little clicky sound like with the Benoit balls or whatever they were called.
I was gonna say, why do balls don't make clicky sounds?
No, those
What's
metal
going on
ones.
over there? I know. Now that once you said that, I was like, oh, she's not talking about testicles.
Yeah,
She's
no,
actually
no.
talking about the
Your
metal
husband's
balls.
testicles don't make a clicking sound? No, girl.
Well, that's what I said. What's going on over there?
So Joe goes to his office and pulls out his secret tropical island lamp.
Oh, I know. It's like one of them little spinny lamps.
I've never seen one of those in real life. I don't think with the
Not like that.
where the image
Not
kind
like
of
that, where
it
the
doesn't
outside-
change, but it like flickers kind of because of the way the light is. It
Right.
makes it seem kind of animated.
Right.
And Waturi comes in first DeDe comes in to give him his work for the day and how many catalogs he needs to send out. And he's like, yeah, I ain't got those. I got 12 left. And she's like, uh-oh.
Well.
So boss comes in yelling at him about the catalogs. And he's like, well, you have to order the catalogs. You made sure of that. So I don't have any control over how many catalogs there are. And he's like, well, did you tell me? Yeah, 3 weeks ago. And 2 weeks ago. Well, did you tell me last week? Bitch.
I know.
Bitch.
I know.
And then he's still, I want those catalogs. And he's like, well, then order them.
Well,
like, what do you, I still have no
order the
ability to order
catalogs
them.
then. Like, it's just this, everything is a bizarre exchange.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bizarre, that's what I'm saying. He's in a coma or something. Like, none of this is real.
None of this is real. And then DeDe, the first Meg Ryan, comes in and wants to know why do you let him talk
Meg
to you
Ryan,
like that? As
#1.
if she probably doesn't as well. Like,
I know. She just sits there and hopes that nobody notices she's there.
and he talks about how he doesn't feel well. He always doesn't feel well.
Right. I don't feel good. I've never felt good.
So he goes to Robert Stack, who's about to tell him an unsolved mystery.
I know. I was like, this
mouth,
voice is like,
Yes.
I can hear it. Like, and if you can solve it, maybe you can solve a mystery. My mom would watch this, The House Down Boots, and it used to like scare the shit out of me, but I'd like always be peeking.
Oh yeah, we
Like,
watched it. Was it a Sunday
kind of
night
scary
show?
thing?
It gives me Sunday night vibes. That song.
It does. Like,
it's like 9 p.m. on a Sunday. That shit came on or something.
right.
So yeah, and you find out that this dude, this sad mullety dude, you were about to say in the beginning about this hair, and I cut
know.
you off. He has this long,
I
kind of long.
It's like a weird,
I don't know, shaggy mullet thing.
Like, I know. He's like all pale and kind of sweaty.
Yeah.
All the
'cause he's sick all the
clammy is what it is. Well, he never feels good.
And you find out he used to be a fireman, which immediately, even though you know nothing about him, seems so out of character and you can't imagine.
I know.
He
Like,
used to be a
okay, so you,
fireman.
right. And it was danger, danger, danger all the time. So is that what happened to him?
Well,
okay,
and then he
I'm
says
like
he started not feeling good at the end of being before he quit. First he says
Right, before
since
he
he
stopped,
quit,
he's-
but then he says no, it started like at the end of being a
Before
fireman. So
that.
maybe he died in a fire or got in a coma in a fire.
or like something, or like got really hurt.
I would think he'd be
now
like in
he's-
purgatory. Like the first place,
something.
the building place was purgatory. Like that's the waiting zone.
Right.
That's like limbo.
And now you have
or
to
it's
go-
hell. I don't know. It could be hell.
I mean, it could be hell. That seemed like hell to me.
And now
It's like, this isn't even bad enough for hell. If you think this is bad.
right. And so he gets his test results. He doesn't have cancer. Nothing wrong with
Yep.
his blood. Nothing wrong with
Nope.
his urine. He has a brain cloud.
A brain cloud.
A black fog of tissue in the center of his brain. It's very
Right
rare.
down the middle. Yeah.
Very destructive.
Like no one's ever heard of it because
Incurable.
I'm making it up right now.
And he does say you can get a second opinion, but he's so ready for something
I
to
know,
be wrong.
he's
like, whatever.
Right.
I'm sure.
Like, oh,
I'm sure I
finally
really
an
have one.
answer. And he was like, well, yeah, you're like 4.5, 5 months of like perfect health.
And then just
Because other
suddenly-
than that, you're good.
And
then
he's
you'll
like,
just, your
oh,
body
that's why
will
I feel
fail.
like this. He goes, no, it has no side effects or symptoms. Like you feel
Right.
like that because you're a
You're
hypochondriac.
actually a hypochondriac.
And you probably
yeah.
have PTSD from being a fireman and you work in a fucking miserable place.
Right.
So of course you
yeah,
feel
and
like
you
shit.
probably never would have found out about this brain cloud had you not been a hypochondriac coming in here
Mm-hmm.
talking about I don't feel good about everything because this doesn't make you sick.
Right.
It's just gonna eventually your brain will turn off and then your body will.
And so he's like, well, what do I do now? Well, take a vacation. He's like, I got
Yeah,
no
if
money
you got
left to
some-
spend it on doctors.
It's like, well, that's a bummer.
And he's like, well,
you know.
I don't know. Live the rest of your life well. So he goes out and molests a Great Dane. No, he doesn't molest it, but he goes out
I
there
know,
and
like
he starts petting this lady's huge Great Dane and then like hugging up on the lady and
Hugs
stuff.
her.
Like, and that lady could have
It's-
ridden that Great Dane.
I know she should have been just around
It's so
town. She
big.
could be like the Great Dane riding lady. Like, oh, that's Miss Jenkins.
And then, and that's where I wrote, what year is this supposed to be? Because when he goes out to his
Right.
car, and I was like, what kind of fucking old car is that? And then I started thinking
know.
about how everyone's dressed, and I'm like, wait, is it supposed to be the 50s or the 40s or something?
Maybe. Maybe.
Because the limo he gets too is kind of an old Rolls Royce, and I didn't pay
Yeah.
attention. And I forgot to pay attention to the other cars on the street, like when they're driving around to see that
Oh,
would have
you
been
know
really
what?
the
Neither
tell.
did I.
I didn't look.
Neither did I.
Well, and let's see the stores that he goes into. We'll get there, but we'll have to think about the stores he went into. Did those exist in the 40s?
Oh yeah.
Because maybe that'll tell us
Probably,
the timeline.
though.
But maybe, yeah.
You know.
So and this is why, even though it's not summer specifically, and it's that when we're doing summer 11 month, he goes on a vacation and he goes to a tropical island, and it's a love story. So there you go. Summer loving.
Yeah, at the end, fall in love.
We don't know
in the
what
summertime.
season it is right now.
No, we don't.
But there's lots of sun in this at some point. So
Sure. So there you go. It gets tropical. So that's summertime, right? Done.
That's
done.
right.
Done.
so he
And I feel like it was the 4-year anniversary thing had something to do with like flowers or fruit or something like that. So
We
you
got the
could kind
daisy.
of stretch it out to like the daisy and like the island, and everything's very lush.
there you go.
If you really, really stretch for it.
All right. Unless we look it up and know, because we don't have a research assistant. No, that's not the
I know that's
flower
not even it.
fruit
I feel like
anniversary.
maybe I looked at it, but I don't know.
I have no idea. So speaking of the flower, he goes back to work and he picks up the little smashed daisy and like writes itself and spreads its little petals out, and it's fine. Just a little worse for
Right.
wear. And he goes in, and of course, Waturi is on the phone being an asshole again to somebody.
Right. I'm not arguing that with you. He's having the
Yes.
same conversation. So yeah, he's been at lunch. Joe's been at lunch for 3 hours.
And he doesn't even try to hang up his hat on that thing this time. He just throws it in the trash.
Right? He has lost his very last fuck.
And we're about to
He's
get
gone.
my favorite Tom Hanks, which is losing his mind Tom Hanks.
Yes. Crazy Tom Hanks.
It's giving the
Frantic
burbs Tom Hanks and the money pit
Anytime
Tom
he
Hanks.
does it,
Yeah.
that's the best part of all of this.
So he like rips DeDe's paper out of the typewriter, balls it up, throws it in the trash, starts wrestling with the prosthetic arm on the
Oh
shelf.
God, this
Slaps
That-
their arm around
I
his
noticed
boss's
that.
desk. Yeah, slaps his boss in the forehead with it.
right?
And then he goes to the main drain. There's a big pipe with a big thing that
Right.
says "Do not
He's
touch,"
like,
and it's the main
I'm
drain.
going to touch the main drain.
And they're like, "What are you doing?" He goes,
See
"I don't
what
know,
happened.
opening or
I'm
closing
turning
the
it on,
main
closing
drain."
it, opening it,
And nothing happens.
and nothing happens.
Do you know how long I've been waiting to see what would happen if I did that?
I know. And now I know. Nothing.
So-
nothing happens.
So they ask, "What's the matter with him?" Brain cloud. I quit. He packs his shit.
Right.
He's gonna get out of there.
Yeah.
He gives DeDe his pretty lamp on the way out. And then he gives Waturi a little, "You look like a bag of shit stuffed into a cheap suit." And
Yes.
he gives his little speech about, "I've been too chicken shit afraid to live my life, so I sold it to you for $300 a week."
Oh, man.
And then he kind of roughs him up a little and leaves. And then he comes right back
Right.
in like, "Hey, DeDe, want to go to dinner tonight?"
Yeah, because he's feeling his oats now. So he's like, oh, hey, I'm going to ask little,
What's he got
little
to
mousy DeDe out.
lose?
Right?
And she's like, "Yeah, okay," because she's all hot now that
Sure.
she just watched him lose
I
his
know.
mind.
Like, right? Like, get all up with that fisting arm to
She was
slap
all,
the boss man
"Oh,
around.
look at
She
the
was
way
like,
he handles
hey.
and he gets all intense that night at dinner, and she's like, "Wow," like she's kind of
Whoa,
laughing,
yeah,
but like, "Ooh, I'm a little bit afraid of you."
Right.
And she asks how he feels, and he's like, "You know what? I feel great." She's like,
Yeah.
"That's
And
weird."
he's less pale
yes,
now.
he's got
Like,
some
he
color
gets
in
less-
his cheeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, "See, something's wrong. You never feel great."
I know, right?
And then he tells her, and so
being-
this comes up more than once with the different faces. The first time I saw you, I felt like I'd
Right.
seen you before.
Right.
That's why I'm like,
Is
does he
this a
only
joke?
know one
Because-
girl?
Maybe he is face blind,
Right?
Or like everybody looks like
Or
that,
she looks like his mom or something. Like where? Or was there
Oh, now
yet
that's a
another
whole-
earlier Meg Ryan in the fire department? Like,
right? That we didn't even know about. Probably that was the woman he couldn't save
or maybe, and he just
in
sees
his
her face
previous
everywhere.
career, and now he can't unsee her face.
And he gets the
He like dropped her off a building.
yeah, he gets the mariachi band to come play them a beautiful song.
Right.
And he reaches out for her hand, and she puts like her balled up fist in his hand.
I know.
you notice
like, what is
that?
that? Your paw? Is that your paw?
That
ma'am?
was
Give me
weird.
your paw.
That was a weird. Yeah, because she goes
Right.
home with him. She's clearly into it. Like,
Right. They have a great night. And did you see there was like a whole like island volcano
what in the restaurant?
mural on the wall?
Oh no, I
on
didn't
the
even notice
outside.
that.
There's like a couple times where that like his lamp is like that.
When
the
they go
mural
out,
is
there's like a
that.
sailor for no reason whatsoever, just by himself
Exactly.
holding flowers.
Precisely.
If we were good at
It's just like
symbolism,
those
all these things might make up to something else. But I don't know.
This might make sense, but I'm too dumb to get it.
Yup. So they go look at the city, and why is the city all like Dick Tracy or Gotham City or something? It's all
I know,
everybody's
'cause-
windows a different color.
Right?
That was
I was
strange.
like, this little set, but is it a little set? They just put a bunch of different color lights,
Maybe.
little party lights in everybody's apartment.
Maybe.
Weird.
And so he takes her back to his place, and she immediately like attacks him with kisses. And while they're kissing, he tells her, "Oh, by the way, I only got 6 months to live."
Right. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. I gotta go.
I gotta
don't
go.
know if I can
and he's like,
handle
no,
that.
no.
Yeah.
And she's like, but you're gonna die. And he's like, yeah.
I know. He's like, yeah, so, but just stay tonight.
And she's like,
it's fine.
I can't handle that because I'm sure
Right,
she like already senses she's kind of falling for this dude, and she's like,
right.
oh great,
And he's just gonna.
so
die.
I get to fall in love with you, and then you die in 6 months.
Right. Exactly. Like, don't do that to me.
So the next,
So now he's alone again.
yeah, in his apartment playing or house, I don't know, playing his ukulele with his feet up on the
Yes.
kitchen table, looking chill.
And Mr. Graynamore comes knocking like he's fucking
Lloyd
Kane from
Bridges.
Poltergeist.
I
He's
know.
like, let me in. Let me
I'm looking for
in.
Joe Banks. I just want to come in and talk. And he's like, and he's a dick right off the bat. Not a nice place you got here, Joe.
I know.
Dingy, dismal,
Like, your life
shabby.
is shit.
He fucking knocks a hole in the wall with his cane.
I know.
What a dick.
Like, who invited you, sir?
And he introduces himself as Samuel something Graynamore. And he's trying to see a hero in there, in Joe.
Right. Like, I knew you were or as a firefighter or whatever. And what is that?
Like something that he saved 2 people, and he like kind of recounts some of his heroic stories that
Right,
he read
his
about from when he was a
deeds or whatnot.
firefighter. And then he just like pulls out a can of Planters peanuts and pops it open.
Yeah.
like, out of his
he's like the
pocket?
weirdest. I don't know.
Or did he find that
Perhaps.
in Joe's house? I didn't notice where he pulled
It was
it
in
from.
his butt locker.
That's what I'm saying. Like, did he bring that with him, or did he just take some of Joe's peanuts? I don't know what's happening right now.
Can't be taking Joe's peanuts
Taking
like
Joe's
that.
Peanuts. That's all he has.
He's like, so what do you know about superconductors?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Me
He's
either.
like, well, yeah, I don't either, but I own a company that does superconductor
We
shit.
dominate
and,
the world
your doctor,
market. Yeah.
right? Your doctor happened to mention to me.
That we might be able
That
to
we
help
can
each
help
other, which
each
like
other.
red flag already.
I know.
What? The doctor I just got these results from yesterday. You know how and why is he discussing my medical history with you? I mean, I know what you
That is
call
a
it.
HIPAA
I
violation.
would say I don't think HIPAA. Maybe this is why HIPAA exists.
No, I don't know. Oh, probably because of Joe versus the volcano.
They're like, you
because
can't be
of what
talking
happened
people
to
into
Joe
jumping into
Banks.
volcanoes based on their false
Nope.
medical history. All right, that's private information.
You can't be talking about people's brain clouds like that.
No.
No.
And so he's like, well, I want you to jump into a volcano. As he
Right.
shites, as he lights his lady-shaped pipe, he shited it. Oh, God.
He's like, actually, do you have any whiskey?
He's like, at first he was like, no. And then when he tells him what he wants him to, he goes, you know what? I do have
you
some
know what? I
whiskey.
do have whiskey, right?
So he tells him about
so-
this South Pacific island, Wapani Woo.
It means little island with a big volcano.
And
the big woo.
And who was all the people? He said it was like Jewish, Latin.
I
what
wrote
was the
it
list?
all down, like Hebrew, Celtic Hebrew, Latin travelers.
They wanted to
or
make sure they
whatever.
weren't going to get in trouble for not actually having Polynesian people. And so that it
Right,
was like,
so they
no,
were
no,
like,
these
well,
people are from all.
they're all
it's a
kinds
mix.
of
You don't
things.
know. You don't need to
Right,
know.
they're all
There
up in
might
the
be
mix.
olive
That's how
skinned,
come-
but that's all you need to know.
That's how come we got Nathan Lane out
That's-
there. And
I had not seen his name in the IMDb, and when that face popped up, even though he's covered in makeup, I was like,
Right.
what the fuck? Is that Nathan Lane? And for a
know.
second I
Well,
thought,
then when he starts,
did he have his name scrubbed from this film? Because of the fucking makeup? But no, it is. I
Right.
just didn't go deep enough into the
no,
IMDb.
it was at the bottom because it was just it's like a little
Yeah.
blip.
He was in it longer than Amanda Plummer.
That's true. You know what? He had a bigger part than
He
Amanda
sure
Plummer,
did.
and how Dagmar was way high up the list. That's because her dad. Or
Well,
something.
yeah.
I don't
and
know.
your dad's Christopher Plummer.
and her
that
mom.
happens.
I don't know. Sir Christopher Plummer.
So he tells him they have this big volcano, and they think every 100 years their fire god will sink their island unless they throw someone in there. But now they don't have anybody who wants to do the sacrifice. And I'm sorry, you telling me people like that wouldn't raise specific children to do exactly
Right?
that?
Yeah.
If they thought if they truly all
think
believed
so.
their whole island was going to sink, and they had 100 years in between to come up with a plan, they really were
Maybe
just going to
that's the
let the
problem.
island sink?
Maybe that's the problem, is because it takes 100 years in between. Like if you were doing it every
Maybe they didn't believe it until
10
that
years
volcano
or,
started rumbling like 99 years in. They were like,
maybe
oh, shit.
they were like, oh, hold up.
That's right.
What year is
It was
this?
a sacrifice. Fuck.
It's been 99 years, 11 months, and 11 days.
Right. So he needs a man of his own free will to jump into the volcano because if he gets them this man, they'll give him his mineral, which I can't even remember what he called it.
Baruku?
It's something that probably doesn't
or something
exist.
like that.
But you
No,
can't
I'm
make
sure
a
it doesn't, but he
superconductor
needs
without it.
Exactly. You need that for what he do, for his business.
And so he's like, why would I do this? And he goes, well, if you want to wait out your life in your grim apartment with no money, have fun.
Yeah,
but
then-
by the way, I have all of these already in your name credit cards. Why are they in his name?
right?
They were for Joe
then he's
Banks.
gonna
So
die. He's not
right,
gonna have
they
to,
don't care
like-
about his credit after he dies. Like fuck your credit score.
Right?
But like, why 5 different credit cards? Like, why not one credit card with like $1 million limit? Why does he need so many different ones?
Because of the times, it was way more fun to do the.
Well, you had to go American Express, Discover, Visa. You had to
right, of course,
cover all of your bases.
Accepted anywhere.
So yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know.
He's like, live like a king, die like a man. Come on, and get the red carpet
Right.
treatment over on Wapani Woo. And he's like, all right. And he already
I'll
has
do
his
it.
fucking ticket in his like, he was real
I know,
sure.
like this whole thing stinks to
and if
high
he has
heaven.
4 to 6 months of fully good life left, why would he go throw himself in a volcano like 2 weeks in or whatever? Like it doesn't take longer than a month. Well, maybe because when they get stranded, but like the intention
I
is
don't
he
know.
should be there in a couple weeks.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, because if it's been 99 years, 11 months, and 11 days.
Yeah,
how
and it's
many-
like, but why would you have the doctor then tell him he had 6 months to live? Why not tell him he has 6 weeks to live or something?
Right. And that would get him moving.
Because I would have said
quicker. Well,
no
maybe
just because of that. I would have been like, I would have eat
well,
that
what's he
shit
gonna
out.
do?
I don't know. I would have taken one of
Wow.
them. The credit cards are in his name. I would have done the exact same thing. So, okay, these credit cards are in my name. I will keep these. I will go
I will
do what the
keep
fuck
these.
I want for the next 6 months and fuck my credit score.
I suppose so.
Because
I
that means
suppose
what's
so.
his name wasn't even paying for this shit. Graynamore wasn't paying for all of this extravagant live
Right?
your
Like,
life
how did
like
he
this.
get his.
He got out of this
Yeah.
scot free. Like he didn't have all he lost was the boat.
Well, and the island.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah. Which we'll
Sorry.
get to what the
Or
fuck was that at the end. But
The
what
minerals,
the fuck was that?
I guess I should say. He didn't really care about that. He wanted the minerals.
Right. So yeah, so he
Anyhow.
before we find out, I think are you about in the middle? I think I'm about in the middle.
Yeah, I'm about in the middle. I mean, it's not a very in-depth.
Because now we're about to start the little shopping spree. Well, let's do the shopping spree
Right.
first and then we'll take a quick
Okay.
break.
I do love a shopping spree. Let's go do that. Now that we've discussed the credit card. And
Right,
credit
we
line
might as well
situation.
find out what does he do with it. So he rents a
Right,
limo, this
exactly.
like Rolls Royce limo with a driver. And this is Marshall. And
Yes, and he's like out shopping. He isn't here. For,
well, he wants to know where to. He's like, "Where am I taking you?" And he's like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Well, what's your style?" And he's like, "The stuff I'm wearing." And he's like, "Oh no."
Okay, no, we can't do that. He's like on to his, not there for his shit, but he's like,
He says he's not there for his shit. I don't have time for this shit, and then immediately gets in the back seat and starts asking him all these questions to
I
locate
know.
his style. And I'm like, you just got literally 2 seconds ago done saying, "I am not about to sit here and help you discover who you are. I am the limo driver. I am not paid for this."
right. Maybe
He couldn't
saw
stand it.
the sadness in his eyes, and he just couldn't.
Well, he thought to
he just couldn't
himself,
let him go like that.
"Look, I can go hook this dude up, or we're gonna end up at fucking Ross."
I know.
Kmart
I don't want to spend
and
all day.
Sears. He's like, "Fine, I will take."
JC Penney.
I will take
at
you
the
under
very
my
tip
wing.
top.
So he knows where to
Gimbals.
take him. He take him to Armani. So when did Armani come out?
Right.
Because that was the first one I wrote down. But I feel like Armani's old. I feel like Armani been around a while.
Armani. I mean, that would be. Let's see. What is this?
And so he's trying on a tux.
When did Armani start?
Yeah, or when was it founded? Or I don't know.
Oh, founded 1975.
Oh no, so it's got to be at least the 70s. So maybe it was really supposed to be in 1990, but just in the drabbest fucking scenario.
I know.
You can imagine.
And like the whole everything is drab. I guess it's
Well,
to
that's what
make
they made the city was
contrast.
all colorful, I guess, to show you it's just this fucking building that is
maybe
drab. Because once he leaves work, everything else is nice.
I guess, but it's all like hazy and gray and whatever on the outside too.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I don't know what
I mean,
they're
I don't
telling us
know.
here.
I don't know. I don't either.
So yeah, so he takes it to Armani. He wants to tux. He's like, "Well, I'll buy you one too." And he's like, "No. Like
No, I
And
can't.
he's like, "Well, look, you were right. You're not getting paid for giving me advice. So let me buy you a tux."
right.
So then they go for
So he
silky
does.
boxers and adventure hats. Takes him to the salon to get rid of that mullet. But thanks to Carol Kane, how do you get Carol
Yes,
Kane in your
who
movie
has-
for 10 seconds?
I know, and she's got that
That
blunt bob with the braided ponytail, rat tail down the back.
Yeah, she does.
Like she didn't even say anything.
She
or,
said like
she had,
two
like,
things.
one
She
line.
said something like, she said, "You look like a prince in a fairy tale."
There you go. And I mean, like, maybe it was just like a favor.
Maybe.
Like, hey, can you come down and do this movie just right quick? We'll put this ridiculous wig on you.
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. Come on.
He buys
Come
some
on.
golf clubs, a bunch of camping gear, and now it's on to luggage. And this is where he spends the most time. There's this whole scene
Right.
about this
yes.
dude that's kink is fucking luggage and selecting the right
he's-
luggage for everybody.
He has like, he's like, what is it? Like Q
Right?
from James
But the
Bond.
only
Just
gadgets
all
he has
look
are
at my
luggage.
It's just luggage, but like
Really good
luggage.
luggage.
It's not luggage that explodes. It's not like a luggage gun.
No, but so
it's
when
just
he-
luggage, but it's the best goddamn
when he
luggage
tells him, because
there
he's like,
is.
"Oh, are you going by air or whatever?" And he goes, "Well, I'm going on a
Right.
plane. I'm going on a boat. I'm going to this island, and I don't know when I'm coming back," kind of thing. And he's like, "Do I
I
have
got it
the
for you." He's all,
fucking
"Hold on."
bag
Beep, boop,
for
bop, boop, beep,
you?"
boop, 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 boop.
And this fucking
Like the little secret door turns around with
the
the steamer
saints
trunks.
begin to sing as the steamer
Yes.
trunk comes out. And it truly is
I mean,
just
that
like
is a fine
a
steamer
dresser,
trunk.
like a full dresser in a
know.
trunk.
Can you imagine going anywhere with like where?
And he gets 4 watertight. He buys 4. They're like 4 feet by 3 feet by 3
I
feet. They're like
know.
big boxes, maybe even bigger than that. But yeah, he gets
Given
4,
what
and the
you're
man
doing.
I wish for you to live to be 1,000, because you know how much money that
Yes.
guy was.
Oh, I'm sure.
Even in
I'm sure.
1994, deluxe steamer trunks off of fucking Rodeo Drive, or where the hell he was supposed to be, or they were in New York or something, I think.
They were
but
in New York. Yeah, I don't know whatever that.
I don't know what they call
know
their
what the
fancy
street is
shopping
there.
district there.
I don't know.
The New York Rodeo Drive.
The New York Road. It's Rodeo Drive.
But yeah, I bet that was
over there.
thousands upon thousands.
Oh
of
yeah,
dollars.
for sure.
And that dude
That's
made
why that guy was so
commission.
excited. That's why he was so
That's
excited.
right.
He hand crafted them himself, most likely.
He made sure they were watertight.
Oh yes.
And then he has Marshall take him to a nice hotel, the Pierre, at Marshall's suggestion, and he invites him to dinner. And this was kind of bunk of Marshall. Like, I know he doesn't know he's dying.
I know, but he
But,
also
like, he bought you a tux, and you guys had fun today. Like, you one night you can't
But
call
he's
your wife.
got a family. I mean, I guess whatever, but like he's dedicated to his family.
Well, and I was kind of surprised that Joe wasn't like, "Well, bring him on me,
Right, that too.
Bring the whole family down
Like,
to the
why
fucking
not?
Pierre
We'll
for
have-
dinner. We'll have a good time."
We'll have a real good time. Yeah.
But he
could've
opted
done
to
that.
go alone back to his room.
Well, he does say maybe this is one of those times where you should be alone. Like maybe you aren't
This is a
supposed to have
door I need
somebody
to go
with
through
you.
alone. So he goes back to his room and tries all his new clothes on and eats dinner alone. And has martinis at the bar alone. I saw you standing, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling.
Alone.
Alone.
He is.
And now,
So now-
before we get to the trip,
Oh,
we will take
there
a
you
quick
go.
break.
that's an excellent idea. Let's do that.
We'll be right back.
Okay, Garth, we have 25 seconds to encourage people to listen to the Least Haunted podcast.
I thought you said we had 30 seconds.
That's because I had to say we only had 25 seconds. That took 5 seconds.
Okay, well, I could do 25.
Now it's 20.
Oh, we did episodes on Atlantis, the Mine Apocalypse, Headless Horse People, Stonehenge, the Kraken, Genital Magic.
Garth, we don't have enough time to list all of them.
Okay, well, so the important thing is we heavily research spooky, haunted, paranormal topics from the perspective of 2 skeptics in a fun podcast every other week.
Well, I do all the research.
And I listen.
Be like Garth.
Be like me.
And listen to the Least Haunted podcast.
And we're back.
We're back and we're on a flight to Los Angeles.
And he arrives, and a redhead version of DeDe is waiting with a
Right.
sign. A very
And I was
festive
like-
sign.
I know that. Did she make that herself?
I know.
And also, when he was getting off of the plane, I was like, "Is that Chip and Pepper?"
Oh my God, I didn't even notice there was those blonde guys, and I did not even
I don't
clock if
think
that
that's
was
who
Chip
that
and Pepper.
was, but I was just like, that's what came to mind with like the kind of matching outfits, and they were both
Absolutely.
very blonde.
Absolutely. So yeah, she's the daughter of the guy who hired him, Angelica Graynamore.
Right? She's the
Daddy said to tell you, I don't know what he hired you for, and not to tell me. I'm a flibberty gibbet.
I'm untrustworthy.
And I don't know why she has this accent.
That's what I
Because
wrote that
the
down. I'm like,
sister
why
doesn't,
does
the
she
dad
talk
doesn't.
like that? Is it because she's in LA? Do we talk like that? Is that
I guess
what
that's
us
the
sound
LA.
like?
LA.
I guess
Let's get some
But yeah.
tacos. Go hiking.
go hiking in LA.
She gets him in her convertible, and a
Mm-hmm.
taxi has to bring all these bags because it's not going to fit in this
All
tiny
the
car.
steamer trunks, of course, because they're gigantic. Mm-hmm. And he's never been to LA. It looks fake. I like it.
Right? She's like, it stinks, but it's a great town.
It's a great town. It stinks, but it's a great town.
And they go to dinner, and she orders this Dungeness crab, and I wrote, oh my God, is she going to Dennis Quaid this bitch? Like, that's her ex-husband.
Oh, she does like beat the shit out of it. Maybe it's a family thing.
Right? Maybe she got that from him. I think they were married in 1990. I feel like that
Somebody
was around the
needs
time.
to ask Jack Quaid. Well, when was he born?
Right? because he's younger
Somebody
than us, I
needs-
think, but not by a ton.
Not by a lot.
He's in his
no.
mid to late 30s, I think. Unless I'm
That's
wrong.
not
He's
the
like
thing.
29. I don't know.
Right? I have no idea. How old he is. But yeah, so they go, and I even wrote that too. I was like, isn't it pronounced Dungeness?
Dungeness
Dungeness, like all that-
crabs,
all
not
that-
Dungeness.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say it out loud until this moment.
Right? I'm not
I'm trying to think when's the last time I ever heard someone say it.
I've never ordered it myself. Jack Quaid was born in 1992.
So
he wasn't
yeah,
even
they were
born.
probably married by
He
then.
wasn't even born yet when this movie came out. So she smashes the shit out of her crab, like I said.
And he's telling her about what's going on. She's just like, I have no
I
response
have no
to
response to that.
Oh,
That's
because
her
she asked
saying
what his
that's
job is, and when he says what it is, she's like,
Right. She's like, I have no response to that.
And he asks what she does, and she's like a painter and a poet. Look, there's one of my paintings right there.
Right.
Only it's
and
not
this-
a painting, though, right? Is that a painting?
It's like a storyboard, and it's like, this is an actual scene. Like, this is where it really starts to get so bizarre.
right.
Because then they like do this fade into this actual scene, into this storyboard that she supposedly painted.
right.
And now they're sitting in the car that was in this painting.
And then when
on the-
she's like, do you want to hear one of my poems?
Yes.
Long ago, the delicate tangles of his hair covered the emptiness of my hands. And she's like
Right.
stroking the palm
I
of her
know.
hand. And he's just
Do you wanna
looking
hear
at
it
her
again?
like, oh, yeah, do you want to
Right,
hear it
wow.
again? And it's like, oh, that was it. Okay, yeah,
Long
sure.
ago
Long ago. And like, that's her only poem she can remember.
of my hands.
And then just she looks like she's going to cry. And she's like, did you ever think about killing yourself?
What?
He's like, oh, why would I do that? Sir, that's exactly what you're going to do. But okay.
I know. She like, because she lives off of her father's money.
Yes.
And she's like, so you get the choice of like between killing yourself and going for it, whatever it is. Why wouldn't you at least try to do that first?
Right. And she's
Then
like,
if it
"You
doesn't
need
work out, you
stop
kill
taking
yourself."
daddy's money and leave LA. And he's like, see, you know exactly what you
know.
need to do. Mm-hmm. And then she suddenly gets all deep about this is all deep and it's a lie and it doesn't cost you
Right.
anything. Like, because
I know.
probably no man has ever spoken to her seriously ever because she sounds like that.
No one takes anything you say seriously.
Like, I'm sorry, you sound like the Valley Girl. It's just really hard for
I know.
me to really pay
he's like,
attention.
Okay, well, I guess you could take me back then, because I
Right?
don't know what's going on. Now it got weird.
Yeah.
It made it weird.
And he's like, well, I think it's all, I'm here talking to you and I don't want to throw that away. And again, I have
Right.
no response to that. So she takes him back to the hotel and she offers to come up with him and he declines.
Right. He was like, well, no. After all that.
After all that, I feel like you're going to cry during this. He didn't say
I
that,
know,
but
like
you know
the-
she's going to.
It doesn't seem like it's going to be a very good time.
So
he
she
came up here
offers
right now.
to meet him for breakfast before she takes him to her half-sister's boat.
Right. And he, instead of going up to the hotel, he takes an introspective walk on the beach until
Yeah.
dawn.
Yes, he does. He has a little sit down on the beach by himself.
Little sit down, little sit and think.
At breakfast the next morning, she shows him another painting that she did.
Right, which was like a painting of the rising sun that was just happening in the last scene. Like
I
it's
know,
so
like,
weird.
oh, all right.
That's
and-
so bizarre.
She apologizes for her
apologizes.
behavior, yeah, and wants to know what daddy hired him to do.
I bet Patricia knows.
And he's like,
my
it's
half-sister."
complicated.
Right.
So she asks, why are you dressed like Jungle Jim? Because he's got like his safari
I know.
outfit on for the
Like,
boat.
You don't think this is good for the boat? She's like, no, it's perfect. Like he has that little sideways hat on, his little
Yes, the jaunty little cap.
his
He
little
looks like,
Muldoon
oh,
hat.
Jumanji dad. When he wasn't the dad, he was the hunter
Jumanji
or
dad.
whatever that
Yeah.
guy's name was. And so they go meet Patricia, and this is a yacht. I guess I don't know what a yacht is because they kept referring to this boat as a yacht, and that's a sailboat. Is that I thought a
Right.
yacht was not a sailboat?
I thought a yacht was also not a sailboat.
I don't remember ever seeing someone say this is a yacht and
No.
seeing sails on it. I thought it was a fully
No.
motorized, like multi-deck kind of
Right.
situation.
because that was like a long. I mean, it was a big ass.
It was a big
but
sailboat for sure. I'm sure
Right,
there's a
but-
name for that, but like I didn't think it
That's
was
what
called
I'm
a yacht.
saying. No, they kept referring. I don't think it is what you think it is.
Right? And she keeps calling him Felix. So she introduces
Right.
him to the third Meg, Patricia.
Right.
And she's like, "What's up,
yet
Felix?
another.
Felix this." And he's like, "Why are you calling me Felix?"
Because I do what I want.
What?
Right?
I mean, and she explains later not why she called him Felix, but why she's being a brat. But what did Felix mean? Was I missing? Like, was that a joke about the outfit? Because all I can think of is like Felix the cat. So Dad also told Patricia not to tell Angelica where they're going.
Right.
And
like
so
it's
she
all a
just
very big secret.
Yeah. She wishes him luck and shakes his hand. He gives her a little smooch on the cheek. She just sees him off and waves. They set sail.
Yeah.
So now they're... What?
I was going to say that they're sailing on the same seas as Cabin Boy.
Oh, okay.
And
there's
right
totally a
moment.
Cabin Boy scene in this.
I know,
almost.
like the whole situation. And my husband had informed me at this moment that he's seen this movie many times.
Really?
He was like, "What are you watching? Joe versus the Volcano?" I was like,
Oh.
"Yeah." Because I've seen this so many times.
I
like,
want to
"Have you
say
really?"
mine said he barely knew anything about it, but I might be wrong. We might have been talking about something else. I don't know.
Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't.
So they're on
So-
the Tweedledee.
Yes.
And now she's being all nice. They're having this nice gourmet dinner served to them on board. And she asks, like, why am I taking you to this island?
Right.
And she reads to him from a book about Polynesian history about the Waponis.
And how much they love orange soda.
And I can't
And
remember
this is
the
where I
reason
wrote
for
the
that.
Polynesian, Celtic, Hebrew, and Latin
Right.
whatever.
That just
travelers.
loves orange soda for some reason.
And have no sense of direction also.
Which doesn't come up. It wasn't
Not really.
The orange soda comes up, but the having
Right,
no
but
sense
the
of
s- no
direction
sense of
means
direction.
nothing to this movie.
Nope, not at all.
Unnecessary detail.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So she gets the boat. She takes what?
she tells him why
that
she
the-
was being shitty to him. That like,
Right.
I'm mad at my
Sorry, I
dad.
was
You work for
rude.
my dad. And he's like, well, don't you work for your dad? And she's like, ugh, I didn't, but
No.
I want this boat. Like he said, I could have
Exactly.
this boat if I took you there.
He's got two of them: the Tweedledee and the,
and the
Tweedledum.
Tweedledum, of
Naturally,
course. You wouldn't name a boat the Tweedledee if there wasn't also a Tweedledum.
you'd have to. And then she asks him, "Did you sleep with my sister?"
He's like, no.
No.
Oh, good.
Do
Do you like to fish?
Yeah, like she's just like rapid fire. Like this is the light switch. You want me to turn on?
She's a Flibberty
Turn on,
Gibbet
turn
without
on.
the Valley Girl accent. Like you just,
Right?
She never says it, but that they have that similar in their personalities.
I know. She like tries to keep clear of her dad's business, but she found out that she has a price, and that's why she was so upset. The price was the
Yes,
boat.
she's soul sick that she's
And
you know
this
that she
is-
made this deal.
Another moment where they mention a soul, the soul of his shoes. She's soul
Right.
sick. Her sister's soul sick. He's soul searching. Like all of these things keep coming up about his soul.
So again, is this just like is he going from hell to heaven? I don't know what's happening.
I don't know.
So she
So,
tells him she's happy he didn't sleep with her sister and tells him, and then again, another thing that never comes up, sleeping on a boat will affect your dreams. I like it.
Right.
It's intense. Does not show
I
a
was
dream.
expecting a dream.
I thought the
sequence.
next part was going to be a dream, but no, it's them fishing.
No. Yeah, it's the next day. I feature that little fishing shirt he's got on.
Oh,
It's
yeah, very cute.
And yeah, they never mentioned the dream thing again.
So she's
That's it.
catching fucking hella fish. She's fish after fish after fish. And
Hella
this is where
fish.
all of a sudden Dagmar, who I guess you were the crew who you're never introduced to until they
No.
say something later about Dagmar. Like I don't think you hear anyone else's name. We don't know. I didn't know if she worked for the boat. You know what I mean? Like who was she?
Right,
Is she
or
her
she's-
aunt? She just works on the boat. She's like, but I guess she's like
No
the
idea.
mechanic or something because later
Or
she's
the
working on the
boat
engine. or-
captain. Like sometimes you
I
have
don't
to
know,
have your
man.
own captain. I'm not entirely sure how those things work, but I do feature Dagmar's shades.
Yes.
And now Joe is caught a fish.
Yes, and it's a big
And he's,
struggle.
like,
They're
struggling.
he's almost losing the pole. Everyone's helping
He's
him,
doing
holding
that
on to him,
frantic
trying to pull
shit
it
that I
in.
love.
And this
and he
goofy
pulls up a
shit.
fucking hand puppet hammerhead shark
Oh
with the
my
googly eye.
God. It was so like it was I mean, it wasn't the first really bizarre thing in the movie, but it was the first kind of over the top comedic.
Oh, it was
goofball
hilarious.
thing.
Like what?
And
even
again,
is
Cabin
that?
Boy, like because
Yes.
Cabin Boy was later. Did they take a little bit of Joe versus the Volcano influence?
Maybe
It was because it was giving me a little bit of that. So yeah, they get nothing happens.
No.
Goofy ass hammerhead shark, and then
Right.
he tells her because she's like, "How long am I leaving you on this island?"
He's like,
"Go
"Oh,
the
well,
rest
for
of
the
my
rest
life."
of my life." She's like, "Okay," and he asked her if she believes in God, and she says, "I believe in myself.
I have
I
confidence
believe
in
I'm
myself.
I'm capable. I have confidence." And
This is where he
she's
says
like, "Well, what
he's
are you
been
doing?"
soul searching, and I have no interest
Right.
in myself. I get so bored every time I
Right.
think about me.
When I start to think about who I am and what I am and all this other stuff, I get bored.
Yeah.
I'm not interesting.
But he is interested in courage. courage
Right.
interests him. And he tells her about his soul-sucking job, and she tells him that her father says most people are asleep and that the few that are awake live in constant total amazement.
Right.
Like, you're telling me Graynamore is awake, living in constant
Right.
total amazement?
Maybe. That's because he's
For
got
his
them wackadoo
superconductors?
eyes.
What was in that pipe?
I think you know what was in that pipe.
And he tells her he only has 6 months to live and that he's going to sacrifice himself for this mineral for her dad. And she's like, what?
Whoa, hold on.
She goes, I don't
she's
know
like,
what
well,
to
I'm
say.
gonna go to bed.
My mind is blank. I got to go.
Right.
Bye.
I gotta go. I'm out of here.
And then
but she's
bam.
like, well, wait, is it catching?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like,
Is
no,
it catching?
no.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
okay. I'm
No,
going to
so
bed.
it's like, all right, fine.
So bam,
So now-
typhoon warning. And like everything. And this part I thought was a dream because of the lighting.
Right.
They go out on
it's all
deck
like-
and she's like standing up there like fucking captain whatever, like in this
She's
blue
the skipper.
fog, talking about
Yeah, and this is another like very cabin boy scene where like this typhoons that come in.
right.
It's like, well, I've never seen one before. She's like, I think you just might. And right then,
Cue storm, and then she's trying to
Right.
call in Mayday, Mayday. Nobody's getting it. Dagmar's down there working on the flooded engine, and tells him to stay with Patricia. And
Yeah.
but something's about to bust loose. The crew comes and tells Patricia, so she's got to go because this is her boat.
yeah,
so she
that's
goes
just
up
like,
in
I
the
have to do it.
storm, and he follows her.
They're out there smack in the middle of it, and then she
They have a little
goes to
moment.
check
They have a
on
little
him,
kiss, and then
she
yeah,
gets knocked the fuck off the boat into the sea,
and he jumps off after her.
and he tries to he jumps in, he's trying to look for her, and then pulls her up, and that's when the boat gets struck by lightning, which is the company logo.
Right, and immediately
As well.
capsizes, and everybody else on the boat dies.
I guess that's what I wrote. I'm like, I guess everyone else died.
Yes. And that's it. And that's all the conversation.
it.
Like she asks later something about if anybody made it, and he just kind of like, no, or is there any sign
Like,
of
I
anyone?
didn't
He's
see
like,
anybody
no. Like
come up.
really, everybody died,
Yeah.
but not his
I mean,
luggage.
there was only no, his luggage pops up, thankfully, and he
and now,
wraps it all together.
yeah, so she's unconscious. He wakes up in the water with like his wrist tied to the trunk, and he's put her up on top of it, still passed out.
Right.
And then he goes and he swims over, gets the rest of the luggage, straps it all together with the rope she had when she jumped or when she got knocked off the boat. And then he crawls up and passes out too. And now he makes no attempt to revive her other than pouring
No.
a little bit of mineral water in her mouth.
He's just rationing Perrier.
He's not giving her a little shake even, not a little, hey.
Nope.
Hey. He doesn't check her head for like
Nope.
injuries.
And she's unconscious
For a long
time.
time. Like concerning brain damage amount of time. Like it seems like a week. Like
Yeah,
by the
'cause
time
he's
she
like-
wakes up, it seems like he's fucked.
He's,
Because
like,
he's fucked. Because we get a
hallucinating.
whole him out on the water playing first it's fine. He's playing the ukulele.
Right.
He's on his little raft.
Sure.
Gives her little capfuls of mineral water. He finds a radio station. He's dancing.
Yeah, it's fine.
Down, 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 me, do me, down, 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 down. Wah, 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 wah. Shaving with
Yeah.
his fancy shave
I
set.
know.
Why?
That was the other
Stranded.
thing my husband said. He was like, write this down. He's shaving. What an asshole.
And so, and at
I
this
don't know.
point, she is still out. And this is where I was like, it should be more
I know.
concerning to him that she has been out that long. He made no attempt to
Yes.
revive her or check her for injury.
None whatsoever.
I guarantee he had first aid shit in those trunks.
And none of the rest of her, because we see by the end of this that he is burnt to a crisp.
And he
yes,
puts
he has her
under-
shaded, but not.
But he
The
puts her
rest of
under
her-
this huge umbrella that he could have easily just laid under too.
Same.
Especially
I know.
when he went
That's
to bed
exactly
at
what I
night for
thought.
like the rising sun in the morning, which is what made him all crispy. And he
Made
also
him
didn't
all
drink any of that water. He was only just giving her
No.
little capfuls of water, which so she was awake enough that you saw her drink the water,
Right.
but her eyes never opened. She never said a word for a long time.
Of course.
So yeah, why didn't he get under the umbrella with her? I don't know. So one
I
day
don't know.
he wakes up and sees all the constellations as like the shapes. Like he's tripping out. He's starting to get delusional from hunger and thirst.
And it was so funny because I had also just watched, after you mentioned it, that I saw the TV glow and they had that whole moment with the constellations.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, how funny.
It's like
I
Joe
just
versus
saw
the
that.
volcano.
I know. So now he sees this giant
The
blue
moon is so big. And I couldn't
rising
even
over
hear
the
what he
endless
said
sea.
to this moon. He was saying something when the moon came up, like I forgot or something. He said
It was
something.
like, I thank God for my life. I forgot how big.
Thank you
and
for my
he, like,
life.
Yes, and he collapses.
And now she magically wakes up the moment he collapses, or the morning after he collapses after all that time.
Yep. After that, it's all good. So she wakes him up, and now they're spotted by one of the Waponis.
Yeah, one of the Waponi. Oh, they just happened to float right over to Wapani Woo, and one of the Waponis calls out for them with his orange can soda.
Yes, they
necklace.
have the jewelry.
They all have accessories made of orange cans, orange soda cans.
And also, they're doing their island version of Hava Nagila, hearkening back to their Jewish roots.
I know. I was like, see, that's how they were like, look, we can say islanders as long as we make them, not islanders. Like, they live on an island. They dress like islanders, but they're not islanders. So, yeah. And they're like, are you Joe? Are you Joe Banks? And that was Nathan Lane when I was like, is that Nathan Lane?
Yes. And they're received very warmly.
Yes, they get a big red carpet welcome, just like they said.
They're taken to be greeted by Toby Chief, and tonight we'll party and feast, and then afterwards you'll jump in, okay?
Okay, yeah, just like that. And then this little montage, okay, she, who isn't doing anything for them, gets totally pampered and massaged and little treatments, and he gets like they're fucking with him.
Different. I know.
You want this
Slapping
guy to
him
jump
with fish.
into a volcano for you, but you're like humiliating him, laughing at him, slapping him with raw fish. Fucking sticking an octopus to his face, and they're literally pointing and laughing as they do this, and it's like, all of you guys are too chicken shit to jump in this volcano. This motherfucker came thousands and thousands of miles. You're gonna fuck with him?
Seriously?
He can turn around and leave. Oh, well, no, he can't. He ain't got no boat.
No, he can't.
Maybe that's why they're like, haha, fuck you.
Right? You can't even go anywhere. Well, I guess he could just take his luggage and go home.
Right? Just give me a paddle. Just give me a piece of wood and I'll paddle home.
That's all I need.
So now it's the big feast. Nathan Lane is in tribal drag hosting.
Yes, he's doing like a full on like storytelling drag show with like props and the monster coming out of the volcano and what they have to do, and
they all cheer when Joe appears, and Patricia's like, "You're really gonna do it, bitch? That's what we came here for."
I know. He's got his tux on. He's drinking some Cristal. He's all, "Take me to the volcano!"
And like immediately, it's like, no, like you just got there. You got one afternoon and then throw you in, but I guess they're low on time because they got stranded.
He was
out
like,
at
"You
sea.
know what? You've been slapping me with the fish. Just take me to the goddamn volcano."
Well, the chief asks one more time. I'm going to ask the Waponis for a hero once more. And he asks. They all kind of shamedly look away, and then the volcano rumbles.
Oh, I know.
And that's,
now it's getting upset.
Me too. The volcano.
And again, they walk up this.
It's the exact same zigzag pattern. Yep. Up to the the company he worked for, this place, like it's all one thing.
It's all part of the same
And
thing.
you're telling me
like,
there wasn't a guy who was actually dying in your company that you could have, instead of tricking a dude who used to be I guess because he used to be a hero was the criteria.
Maybe. And he's interested in courage. Maybe he was interested in courage before.
He wrote that on his application.
Right? He
What are
was
your
like, I'm very
interests?
interested in courage. He's like, what are your name 3 positive attributes.
Right.
During the interview.
So they head up the mountain, and now Patricia's now chasing them up the mountain.
Right. They're chanting the whole way, and they're like, there's no ceremony.
Nope,
you
just jump in
there.
And she runs in and stops it. I fall in love
like,
with you. When did you fall in love with him,
you.
bitch? In the 2
I
days
know,
you
you
were
were
awake
unconscious.
on the boat before it crashed or whatever, before it capsized?
I don't know. Maybe it was love at first sight.
And she knows, and she still thinks he's dying.
Right. She's like, I love you, and now you're going to kill yourself. You can't just die. And he's like, I have a chance to die like a man, but...
And she's like, well...
I guess I love you.
I want to marry you. She asked the chief, I want to marry you. And
he's like, wait, I don't want to get married. She's like, what? You're afraid of commitment now? You just got to honor
like 30
and obey
seconds,
me for like the next 30 seconds.
Just marry me, then jump into the volcano. So the chief's like,
Right?
you want to marry her? You want to marry him?
Yes.
You're married.
There, you're married.
So now she's like, I'm going to go with you. So they get a little quick smooch, and he goes to jump, and she tries, no, don't. And he's like, no, I'm going.
He's like,
so she's like, I'm going
I got to
too.
be brave. I got to jump in. Goodbye. And he's like, well, come on. Like, we'll jump and we'll see, I guess.
Yeah,
like, there's no
that's
other
life.
way. Like, I don't want you to do it too. But take my hand. He's like, remember when I said the first time I saw you, I felt like I'd seen you before?
And no,
Because
you
he
didn't
had.
tell her that. You told the first girl that looked like her that.
That's true.
He only told DeDe, I thought I've met you before. He never told Patricia that.
That's
I don't think. I didn't have it in my
right.
notes. It seems like I would have come
Or
up.
he told Angelica that?
I don't think so.
About
I think he only
Patricia?
told. I don't know. I think he only told DeDe that.
Huh.
Which
Now
doesn't
I'm
make
thinking
sense.
about
It makes
that.
sense
No,
more
it
to tell
doesn't.
Angelica or Patricia that.
Right.
Like I said,
Huh.
there must have been other girls with that face, apparently.
He's just stuck in an endless time loop.
So yeah, she's like, well, what are
Of
we
doing
hoping
this.
for here? A miracle. Okay.
A miracle. It's got to be. Yeah. Like, so give me your hand. We jump into the
And
volcano
it
and
blows them out cartoon style.
they are launched straight into the sea. They only have a little bit of like, not even burns.
No,
They're just like
not
a little
really.
coal smoke marks or whatever. They would have been horribly burned.
And then like the whole island just sinks.
Yeah.
Is
now
that what
everybody
happens
else
when a
is dead,
volcano
too.
goes off? Is the entire
I
island
don't
sinks
think
into the
so.
sea?
Well, that one because it was their fire god that was pissed. So
And they're not even upset about this.
no, this is fine.
This means
Like,
nothing
we're
to
gonna.
them. I came here to
Nope.
save these people, and now this whole entire population of people is dead. But hey, we got
I
our
guess
luggage.
your dad don't get his minerals.
And we got our luggage. That's all we need.
whoopsie-doo.
We're just
Yeah,
going
the
to sail
luggage
off
pops
into the
up.
sunset.
Yeah, because he's like, well, we're still out here. And she was like, no, it'll be fine. And then that's when the luggage pops up and off they go.
And then he finally tells her what the doctor told him. That he had a brain cloud, and he mentions
She's like,
Dr. Ellison,
"What?"
and she's like, wait a minute. Dr.
He
Ellison?
works for my dad.
My dad
My
owns
dad
him.
owns him. He
He
doesn't
set
have
you
any
up.
other patients.
And then
Yeah.
like, and again, what? What is this
I know.
family? I don't.
What is going on?
And then I
in
guess
this
they're
movie
never
on
going
this day?
back because they're just going to sail off to.
They're
what does
gonna
he say?
die out there.
Oh yeah, and
Oh yeah.
they're going to take wherever they go, whatever they do, they're taking this luggage with them. And he's like, I wonder where we'll
Yes.
end up, away from the things of man. So they're just going to sail to another island and just live like fucking Castaway.
I guess because that's what she tells him that's what she wants to do is be away from the things of man.
Is that how he ended up a Castaway? I never saw that one.
I did see that one. It was the Tom Hanks show. It was like
Right.
2 hours of mostly just him.
Yes. And then the last text, you're right. You do get one last text on the screen when it says, and they lived happily ever after. It doesn't say for 30 more days because then they
Right.
died of because they didn't have food.
Nope.
That
they
was
didn't
the whole
have
thing. He didn't
anything-
have food in
they
those
didn't
boxes.
repackage any water.
No.
Because they weren't expecting all of this. So they died out there.
And in fact, all those trunks might have been empty now because he had them on the island and he got his
Right.
tux out of there and whatever. And if the natives thought he was about to go die, they might have already raided his shit. They're like, whatever, you're going into the volcano. I want
know.
this dress shirt. This is awesome.
I'm having them.
You got orange soda in here? What's going on?
Yeah, because that's what I want.
But yeah, I was waiting for the they have no sense of direction thing to come up somehow or like for something to happen to. But yeah, so Joe is saved. Patricia is saved, but fuck everybody, every Waponi.
Right. Everybody else, the whole Waponis die.
And not do
Dagmar
not shed a tear for the
dies.
crew, for the people on the
Nope.
island that died. It's just
Nope.
like, well,
What
we're alive.
is this fucking movie?
It's so strange.
What is this fucking
It's
movie?
So strange.
It's like one of those things where it's like I don't even know why you even bothered to make it.
And the only thing
If I'm
that
honest
really
with you.
doomed me is to say the word flipperty gibbet. This is
Yeah.
where I first heard that word. Probably the only place I've ever heard that word.
Yeah.
And I used it. I don't like say it all the time, but I definitely it's in my vocabulary.
No,
it's like
I use it. It's in the lexicon
for sure. But I don't know. I
But
mean,
yeah, I don't.
We did not remember a ton. Like I probably last saw this in the late 90s and like on Comedy Central or
On
something.
TV. Yeah.
But I only remembered it was a fake tumor or something, that he didn't really have a tumor, that he was going to throw himself in
Yeah.
a volcano, and that Meg Ryan was in it at least as 2 different people. I did not remember she was 3 different people.
I didn't remember that part at all.
I was surprised when I
And
saw the cast. I was
there
like,
was
oh.
very, very little of it that was like ringing any bells. I was like, what?
And so I guess it's like it's a metaphor for like, you know, embrace life while you got it. And
Right.
even if you don't, if you're cool enough, the volcano will just throw you right back out.
Will just spit you right out. If you are a very good person and fall in love or something and you learn a lesson about living, then a miracle will occur and you'll get spit out of a volcano.
I guess.
But everybody else will die.
Fuck them. They're
Fuck
not
'em.
you.
I mean,
Fuck 'em.
whatever. No, exactly.
So yeah, that
So
was
that's
Joe
nice.
versus the Volcano. It's available on
Yeah.
Tubi if you've never seen it or if you want to revisit it. It's not a bad movie. It's just a weird movie that, yeah, I'm not really sure. And the guy who was the director, I had never heard of. I don't know what else he's done. And now I can't, of course, remember
They
his
probably
name.
didn't let him make anything else after
They
this.
were like, dude, nobody understood that movie.
Watch. They
I
made,
feel like Kim's
some
going to
sort
be
of
mad. I feel like Kim
masterpiece.
loves this movie.
It's just
seems
so
like a-
bizarre. Like it just seems like why. It's a why.
It's a how did this get
Why?
made, which is a whole different podcast that does
Right,
exactly
like
that.
why did this get made? Not even how.
Yeah.
Why? I know
Some
how
favors were
because Tom
owed
Hanks
again.
was a big comedic actor, so they put him in a comedic movie
Yeah.
because he was on a run with all those things. So I don't know. Not his best comedic role.
No,
from this.
but he did. We got a little bit of that wacky Tom Hanks flavor. Not as much as I
Oh,
would
for
have
sure.
liked, but this was kind of, I think, on the verge of. I mean, he still spent several more years being a comedic actor, but I feel like he was
yeah.
trying to show his dramatic side as well.
Right. It was
show
still a few
range.
years off of Philadelphia. We were still a few years away from
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
So
So
yeah,
I wonder if he did think about this when he did Castaway, though. Like, oh yeah, I've done this
right.
before.
I've been stranded. I remember these. I remember this time.
I've been
I
stranded.
remember these dry lips. I remember this Elmer's glue on my lips.
Delicious.
So yeah, we've got a new this month in Doom out now. If you guys don't know, we do a little short show once a month where we talk about all the new stuff we've been watching or getting into. So you can find that at patreon.com/Doom Generation. Like, subscribe, rate, review, call us 702-720-DOOM or text us at that number and leave us a message. And until next week.
We'll talk at you next time.
Later, Doomers.